Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak on this 29th day of September 2025, and I want to introduce the panelists here in studio. I have Asha Bashir, who is the Secretary General of PLP. Good morning. Good morning, Sam. And I have Dr. Daniel Kanchori, who is the County Coordinator of DCP in Kajiado County. Good morning. Good morning, Sam. Great to see you. And we're still waiting for the arrival of Wanja Maina, who's the chair of Jubilee Party Persons with Disabilities League. Should be here to also help us understand what's going on within the political parties. We're talking about the political parties of 2027 at a time that some of them held meetings, events on Friday to strategize ahead of 2027. We also heard from the party leader of PLP, Martha Karua, declaring that she will be running for the presidency come 2027, and also the promise of unity that has been ongoing. We'll be listening to what she said as she declared that position shortly from now. But also in the papers, new battle on route of policies. This is the main headline that is on the Daily Nation. A fresh petition seeking to outlaw the mandatory housing levy, accusing President Ruto of turning the project into a political tool to woo voters, adds to the growing list of state policies challenged in court. Then on the front page of the Standard, bandits in uniform. Despite having more police units and heightened security than any other region, the North Rift remains ravaged by bandit attacks that drain life and condemn residents to endless suffering. And of course, more details following in the paper. And what else is there? They're giving the details. Weapons in the hands of the suspects. 1,000 rounds of 5.56 millimeter ammunition, the type used in assault rifles such as the G36, M16, M4, and M4. Then more details about that. And then, of course, that story I had mentioned to you about the silent suicide epidemic that the country is witnessing. I want us to listen to Martha Karua. She declared that she'll be running for office and also indicating that that would be one-term event. Watch this.
One people, one purpose, one term. Na ndivyo wengine wasifikirie one term ni matusi. I stand before you to tell you that we must demystify power. In Kenya, in East Africa, and in Africa, people get to power and they refuse to leave power. Martha Karua, yours truly is seeking a single term, one term. I believe that in 5 years it is possible to lay a foundation. Nobody will ever finish the job of making Kenya prosperous. You lay a foundation and you wait for the next team to come and further that. So I want to...
The party leader of PLP. Good morning, Wanja.
Good morning. Good morning.
She is from the Jubilee Party. She now joins us to have the conversation. Let's begin with you, SG, Asha, on that event, your take, and also what informs the idea of just running for one term for Martha Karua.
Thank you so much, Sam. So just to let the viewers know, it's not only on the issue of the presidential seat that we were seeking one term. Last year, if you remember, 2024, we had an NGC, and the NGC ratified because there must be a continuity to something. Yep. And one of the things we started with from the party was that a party leader cannot be there forever in perpetuity. So that means you allow other people also to take up the job, to steer the party and the country as a whole. So we started from the party level where the Honorable Martha Karua was to serve for a maximum of 2 terms, beyond which you're not allowed. Any other leader coming to PLP cannot serve beyond that. After that, you move to prominent persons and the Eminent People Council where you advise, but you cannot run. So it started first of all from the party. So that we demystify, as a party leader, if Asha today is given a party leader PLP, I'm not supposed to stay there until I get to a certain age or until I die. You must also allow leadership to take its course. You must allow other divergent opinions and other people to thrive. Now, back to what she had said on Friday. Leadership, you cannot finish some in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Even if you're given 40 years, work will still be there. Kenya is work in progress. And as such, As PLP, our notion was even a Martha Karua presidency should be one term. There is nothing wrong in serving one term. Put structures in place, put your work in place, and allow others to continue. This habit of thinking that I must come in for 10 years, we must demystify. There must be somehow a way that the country knows that leadership is based on the weighing scale, that if you do not deliver, kindly step out and allow another person to move the country forward. But this habit of, and what we've seen lately is a president coming in and the next 10 years is no development. The first 5 years is campaign. The second one is now you're struggling between building a legacy or preparing your retirement package. So as such, we are not moving as a country. But if you know you're coming in for one term, you're coming in to do the job, not to campaign for your second bid. So we are trying to demystify and say, wait, someone can serve one term and leave, so that we don't have an election cycle.
Asha, what if Martha Karua wins the election in 2027, gets to 2031 and she feels like I've done quite a good job, maybe I should get another term? What if that changes? What if our mind changes?
The mind for us as PLP, because we're the sponsoring party, her term at the helm will have been over. So as a presidential candidate, we must also put the structures in place, number one. Number two, we will weigh her with the words, because she's not here. I cannot speak for her right now. I can speak for the party, but we will weigh her at that point. But what we are trying to demystify is a person getting to power and using the first 5 years to do a campaign for the second bid. But if Sam Gituku, you know you're coming over for 5 years and your contract is just 5 years, just like any other employee, you will do your job because you have a legacy to leave behind. But this thing of coming to stay for 5 years campaigning for the second bid and then the second term again you're looking for your retirement and how you will retire, we are wasting the country.
Okay, let's listen to what the other leaders said, because they were there under the banner of United Opposition. Let's see who was there, what they said.
We will subordinate our ambitions to the interest, for the interest of Kenyans.
We shall make whatever sacrifices necessary for this country to make sure, under whatever circumstances, we have one presidential candidate to face William Ruto.
Safari ikianza, basi hatuna budi ila na sisi tuamue kwa kauli moja kwamba kamwe hatutarudi nyuma.
Our presence here is testament that we are here for the long haul.
Sisi tumeamua tutatembea pamoja vile mmetuona hapa hadi mwisho, hadi tuhakikishe one term has happened.
All right, so you see the voices of Justin Muturi, Eugene Wamalwa, Rigathi Gachagua, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and Martha Karua. Now, we're lucky to have the coordinator of DCP in Kajiado County, Dr. Kanchori. Now, this is pretty telling. As this was happening, another member of the United Opposition was at an event of the Jubilee Party. What was the arrangement?
Thank you, Sam. I cannot speak for another political party. As you know that the Political Party Act allows for democracy, inclusiveness, and our sister United Opposition Party Jubilee and my sister here, Wanja. I am actually the immediate member of Jubilee Party. I vied in a Jubilee Party for the Kajiado East constituency, member of parliament. Wakatufanyia ile kitu during their nominations. What I just want to tell you is that as the United Opposition...
What did they do?
They bungled the nomination that time, the Jubilee Party. Yeah, very unfortunate indeed.
So you didn't go to the ballot?
I didn't go to the ballot because they had what they so-called a consensus, so there was no nomination.
Okay.
They handpicked the candidates.
So consensus from where if you're not part of it?
Wanja will explain that because
she wasn't in Kajiado.
She was in the leadership of the party.
Okay.
As a DCP, and what my sister said here, we are focused to make Ruto one-term president. And as the United Opposition and as the DCP party, you know, one of our slogans is to listen to the Kenyans. And the message from the Kenyan yesterday in a big rally we had in Kitengela is that the opposition have to unite. And anyone who is going to betray the voice of Kenya, the voices of Kenya in terms of uniting, history will judge them harshly. So as a DCP party, we have a presidential candidate who is a former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, and we are working very closely with other coalition partners. Even Jubilee, we had them saying one term, and we want to ask all our principals that the time to unite for the future of this country is now. Yes.
So, were you invited to the Jubilee meeting?
We were never invited for the Jubilee meeting, and the last meeting we had with Jeremiah Kioni in Kajiado, he said that it was an in-house party issue. I think they had some in-house party issues to handle, so we were never invited.
And how is the United Opposition taking that meeting and the developments there?
As long as it's a one-term agenda, we are good to go. Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Wanja, talk to me, because did you attend the event?
Yes.
Great. So what was it about?
Thank you, Sam, and welcome. Really, to say hello to our viewers. As you all know, on Friday we painted the town red. It was red everywhere. It was raining red. Oh, and the love was a lot from the Kenyans. We had our NDC. We discussed many issues that are pertaining to our party. We discussed the progress we want to make. We discussed, our party leader was there talking about how badly we are faring under this regime and how much they have taken away from the progress we had made. But if you allow me, Sam, and I'll pick it up from the question you asked about the United Opposition. Sam, you are the communicator here, and you can tell, you agree with me that around 70% of communication is non-verbal. The verbal one is 20% or 30%. The people who are in the United Opposition, by the way, I might add by law, you cannot be a member of two coalitions at once. So as it were now, and our party leader buttressed that point, Jubilee Party is a member of Azimio. Not to mean that we cannot leave the Azimio coalition, but by law we are members. In fact, we are one of the founder members of Azimio, so you cannot be a member of two coalitions at once. And therefore, our party leader said that in future, if that position changed, because you can always progress and make new coalitions. So that is a position as of now. What was I saying about the bad faith and the ill faith and the 20% of communication being verbal and the other one being non-verbal? Our brothers and sisters from the United Opposition, which is an informal outfit in my view, it is not well, but that might change in the future. There has been, it is not lost on us on how they are, it's open secret in how they are behaving and how they are talking about our party. Take an example of the choice of date for their meeting. If you follow the chronology of events, it is Jubilee Party that announced their NDC first to be the 26th. Theirs, for some of us who observe, was an afterthought or a choice of date to coincide with ours. You could also see them, as my English teacher would say, perambulate. After doing their meeting somewhere near State House Road, they went for a rally in Kiambu. If you want to be brothers and sisters with people, you also have to be cognizant of that. And then on top of that, they say that we were not invited to the Jubilee one. You agree with me that NDC is a delegates meeting. You know, we are coming out of many litigations, and some of the instigators of these litigations are actually some of the people who act more opposition than we are. Take an example of the DCP leader. Until the coup d'etat that happened, that kicked him out around 8 months ago, he was pro-government. He was a member of the government. So when they purport to come to the opposition and suddenly they think that now they can talk ill of us, you saw when they were in Kitengela, where my friend was the host, they kept referring to us as a red wheelbarrow. You saw Malala, the DCP deputy party leader, saying that our conference is sabotaging the muscles of Gachagua in Mount Kenya. I think one of the things we ought to embrace in this brotherhood first, you cannot become friends or form a friendship with people whom you keep threatening and berating and talking ill of. Any opposition around the world is as strong as individual party members. So when as Jubilee Party we are putting our house in order, when they cannot exercise passion about their brother who has had litigation, I think our problems are out there for everybody to see. And then they choose the same date as us. For us, we take it as ill faith. We take it as non-verbal communication, that they are trying to paint us in a funny way. But you agree with me even by law. And NDC, the word delegates means members of the delegates. And actually one of the reasons why we were in court the other time was because we had an NDC and we invite other people who are referred to by the court as strangers.
Okay.
So it's not lost on us. We are observing keenly. And we hope that if we are going to build a brotherhood of the united opposition, what's in a name? Whether we call it united, whether we call it a coalition of the willing, what's in a name? But we note that kind of subtle bullying.
Just a few things. So are you confirming that Fred Matiang'i is now a member of the Jubilee Party?
We had Fred Matiang'i at our meeting.
Yes.
Fred Matiang'i has been a member of Jubilee Party for, everybody knows that.
Since when?
He has been a member, really. And
I'm asking that because I spoke to him not long ago, a few months ago, and I asked him that question. And he said there were many of us on the table. At the time, he was not a member of any political party. So I'm asking, is it that he is now a member of the Jubilee Party?
But we have just talked about non-verbal communication.
No, don't tell me that.
Yes.
Is he a member of the Jubilee Party?
He's our friend. He's our member. Remember, he has also had the historical ideological understanding of Jubilee Party by virtue of the fact that he worked for 10 years implementing the Jubilee manifesto and ideologies and the Big Four agendas. So he understands it only too well. For him, he describes...
Do you know if ahead of the meeting he had informed the colleagues in the United Opposition that he would be attending as he was choosing a party?
Well, I cannot purport to talk to him because I believe I cannot purport to talk on his behalf.
Okay.
But his presence was there for all to see.
Yeah.
Assuming he had informed his colleagues and friends, I cannot talk that on his behalf.
Okay.
But yes, he was present in our meeting and people loved it.
People loved it.
Yes.
And when you said that you're still a member of the Jubilee, of the Azimio.
Yes, we are a member of the Azimio coalition.
So who are the other members?
Azimio coalition, by the way, was a coalition of 25 political parties, 24. So we are around 20. I think there are some parties that have written officially that they have left the coalition.
Yep.
But yes, we are quite many.
So who are the other members?
Well, I might not have a name of all the 20 members.
No, just a few.
I forget the names, but we are members of Azimio.
I can give you some.
Yes.
Wiper Party?
Wiper? I really...
Was in Azimio?
Was, yeah. I don't know.
Was in Azimio?
There has been developments. Like, for example, I want to believe that I saw... Did your party leave? I don't know. But I saw...
PRP left.
I saw a letter on the same. So different parties have written to stay, others to leave.
Okay,
so
the essence of that question is, you're saying that you are still in Azimio. Yes. Is Azimio functional?
Yes, Azimio is a coalition.
When is the last time we had a meeting?
We have been talking.
To who?
Azimio was a coalition that was formed, and you remember Martha Karua was actually the presidential running mate
yes.
of the Azimio coalition. And some political party and political organizing in Kenya, I would say it's seasonal. Like now you can see heightened activity. Maybe it's a problem with our political organizing.
When was the last meeting of Azimio?
Well, I'm not in the Azimio top leadership, but I do know that we are in Azimio.
Okay. Asha, she says that there is bad faith for you to host an event on the same date. When did you decide to have your meeting of PLP?
Thank you, Sam, and it's good to correct this narrative for viewers. When we say united opposition, Chairman for Jubilee has been part of the coalition meeting, which at least I'm privy and I attend to the coalition meetings. The Honorable Fred Matiang'i also attends the meetings. So in as far as I'm concerned, Jubilee has been working with us in the official opposition for some time. And number two, on the issue, it's good for the public to know PLP, the first NDC we had was in 2024, when we rebrand and got the approval from our delegates to do rebranding. And it is at that point, because we decided to have the second one to decide the future of the party. Because remember, in 2024 is when we brought the issue of term limits, that the party leader cannot serve beyond this period. So it was at that point that we had agreed that immediately after the launch, which we did in February, that in September, before the deadline of October for us, because we had put timeframes, we must have the NDC. So it was not an afterthought, and it is quite unfair for someone to allege something they do not know, because proof is important. It's not good to cast aspersions and say it was an afterthought, because you're deciding for another political party. We do not decide for Jubilee. They are our sisters. We've been working with them. In fact, Fred Matiang'i actually sent his greetings. And it is not also true that we did the NDC with our partners. If you followed keenly the NDC on Friday, we had our NDC in-house. It was after the in-house that our siblings from the different parties came. Yep. So it was not that we did the NDC with the other parties. From the onset at 9 o'clock, we did our agenda because it was just a one agenda issue for the amendment of the Constitution. And after that, we finished is when now we entered the second phase. Number two, you cannot decide for parties whether they will hold a rally or not. I think that is also, we are in a democratic space. You cannot also put a gun on someone's head and say, you know, when you finish an NDC, you must go home. Okay? These are people with their itinerary. And they graced our NDC after we finished our deliberations. Our NDC was decided that it will be end of September last year when we did the first NDC. And reason because why we chose that September, just for clarity, was because immediately February, we had already set the date. When we finished the NDC, we informed our delegates that in February we will launch the rebrand of the party from NA Kenya, which was previously the name, to People's Liberation Party. And we agreed immediately from February, the next NDC will be in September, one, to track the events of what happened from the rebrand, and number two, to finish any other business that the delegates had to give approval ahead of the general election. So in fact, we started the journey. It is the first political party that started the NDCs even before the rest joined. But we cannot start chest thumping and saying we are the first people to start, others followed us. No, because as far as I'm concerned, Jubilee has been part and parcel of the meetings in coalition represented by their chairperson, and even Dr. Fred Matiang'i, our brother, has been attending the meetings. So we cannot come and delegate and say, no, it is good to talk from a point of what we know. Yeah. But just to clarify, my party position is that our NDC was not in bad faith. And number two, Jubilee itself had told their partners and their sisters, PLP being one of them, that we have an in-house because of the court battle, we will finish. And if at all Jubilee was not part of it, there are mechanisms to communicate. So let's not also spark aspersions, because on our side, we know they are our siblings. They sent greetings. They have been in communication with their co-principals. They actually sent their salutations and well wishes for our NDC. These people have been communicating. In the coalition meetings, Jubilee has been represented from day one by their chairperson, unless now they want to say the chairperson is not legitimately their chairperson and cannot speak for them. That's a whole different ballgame. Mm-hmm. So for us, just to clarify to the public, we did not do that in bad faith. Okay. And we followed the procedure per law to have our NDC. When we finished is when we now invited our brothers and sisters, because the reason the constituent parties were just coming to congratulate. And if tomorrow Jubilee decides they're holding an NDC to declare their presidential bid, we will not come and start complaining. We will attend, or if we are not invited, we will wish them well, because we're still working together. Because our vision is one, Ruto must go.
Kanchori, she says that DCP leader, is he the one who said red wheelbarrow, or who said that?
Yeah, some of the members who were in the Kitengela meeting referred to us as a red wheelbarrow. The DCP leader in Oro, which is a sister station, referred to other parties in Mount Kenya as to wheelbarrow. In Kikuyu, when you say to wheelbarrow, you mean small wheelbarrows. But overall, even the DCP deputy talked about us trying to come, to the campaign and to be encroaching Rigath's home ground, which is the Mount Kenya region.
Okay.
So it seems...
No, it's okay. I just wanted to clarify what you said. Is that so? What is the feeling of DCP party and party leadership on the reorganization of Jubilee, what it's doing?
Thank you, Sam. Just to clarify a few issues. One, and to echo the sentiment of my sister from the PLP, is that Fred Matiang'i is a very close friend of the United Opposition. We have hosted him not in many other places, including Wamunyoro residence. On Sunday, the 20th of this month, we had Honorable Matiang'i, Honorable Kioni, and Honorable Kalonzo. I hosted them in a church service in Kajiado. And the Jubilee Secretary General made it very clear that the NDC of Jubilee was just for the party members. What we don't know, and Wanja is not able to answer, is whether Fred Matiang'i is a member of the Jubilee Party. But we were ready, our principals were ready to attend that function, as they did to the PLP. And normally there is the in-house business, and thereafter the coalition partners can come. Secondly, the Jubilee chairman has been a very strong and present member in all our United Opposition rallies throughout the country, and that is a fact.
His name?
Is Torome, the former PS. His name is Torome, from Narok County. To answer your question, yesterday we had a rally in Kitengela, and our party leader, and I told you our agenda is a one-term agenda. And the Kenyan people are talking about a united opposition.
Right.
And any attempt by the ruling coalition to bring small parties to decide to divide the opposition is what our party leaders are saying no to it. And in an attempt to try to change the wheelbarrow, you know, the wheelbarrow, we were telling our people whether it comes in whatever other color, not necessarily referring to Jubilee or any other party, but any other attempt to bring other small parties to divide the opposition. That's what we are cautioning our members. Sorry?
Which ones are those? Small parties.
We've seen, like now, the Azimio people. We have the broad-based. We have the people so-called One Kenya or something like that. Kenya.
No, it's not a party.
Kenya Moja.
It's just a movement.
It's just a movement. And
just say it. Small parties. Which ones are those?
There are many small parties. You hear that in the last 1 year, so many parties have been registered.
Which ones? What are the names?
I can't mention them now, but
no, you can.
There are many parties. We've seen the Moses Kuria just resigned and is resurrecting his party. Is a very close friend of the president.
He's not in the United Opposition.
He's not in the United Opposition. That's why we are telling our people, as a United Opposition, any attempt by the ruling coalition to bring the Moi, you know, during the Moi time, he survived by divide and rule. And that's what we are cautioning our member. Not specifically targeting a specific political party, but we are cautioning our members that even the ones that are in coalition, including the DCP, the Wiper Patriotic Front, the PLP, that we must all come together.
A coalition?
Sorry?
You're in a coalition?
United Opposition, not a coalition. We are in opposition, but we are united. We are not yet in a coalition, but we are united. You know, there are legal process to form a coalition. But we are united in one agenda, a one-term agenda.
When the DCP party leader says that, and I needed to get that straight. Let me just see if I can find it. Because he was saying that when I know for sure, myself, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, George Natembeya, and Martha Karua will not betray Kenya. Will not betray Kenyans. What does that mean?
He's making very clear, and as I told you yesterday in Kitengela, the people of Kitengela and Kenya are saying that you must unite to get one presidential candidate. And by saying that we are not going to betray Kenya, is that they are not going to fall into the Kasongo economics of buying the opposition leaders. We are going to have one presidential candidate. That is very clear. And that is the position of the united opposition. To have one presidential
the economies
candidate.
of buying leaders, what does that mean?
Yeah, we've seen candidates being bought to go to government. Even our Baniza DCP candidate was bought, an aspirant was being bought. Some, you've seen the empowerment politics. You are not a visitor in Jerusalem. It's something that is happening all over.
No. I'm glad you're welcoming me to it's a great city, I must say.
Yeah.
But, so how much was it for Banisa?
Sorry? You guys reported it.
No, you tell me.
It's in the public knowledge. It's in public knowledge that we lost our DCP candidate for Banisa.
What is his name?
It's called Kiongozi. Aden Kiongozi. Very unfortunate.
What is the price?
You can call him. I will be able to tell you more about it.
No, I'm asking, I mean, because if it is happening, do you think...
And just to make it very clear...
No, just hold on. Let me pose the question. If you're afraid of leaders being bought, and you're saying that Banisa has been bought, you call him Kiongozi, do you think you're at that point where you are able to define yourselves? Because one time is fine. It's a slogan. It's catching attention. But do you have an idea of what you want to do as united opposition in Kenya?
Absolutely, Sam. Before I answer your question, to clarify that we are not in any loggerheads with our sister party Jubilee. And I know there are attempts to try to portray that the united opposition is divided. Far from it. Our agenda is very clear, and the Jubilee Party can come with their presidential candidate as the PLP, as the Wiper Patriotic Front, and the DCP, and we are going to agree together. The most important thing is that this country is in a crisis economically. We've seen in the papers that now the rate of suicide is going high. This is the third term. Our candidates are supposed to sit for their exams. Capitation has not yet gone to schools. We've seen the crisis of the lecturers' strike. In, I think, Thika Level 4 Hospital, we have Level 5 hospitals. We have young mothers who are locked in there because SHA is not working. So those are the issues that, as opposition, we want to come and fix them. And our agenda is to fix the economy, and the best way as a Jubilee, as a DCP party, is to listen to the Kenyans. Is to listen to the Kenyans, their issues.
Okay, take that again. As what party?
As the DCP party.
He seems to love us quite a bit. You see, they have really talked about us
as a DCP
until
party,
it's coming naturally.
Okay.
As a DCP party, our slogan is to listen to Kenyans. And you know, when you cannot lead people who you are not listening. You saw the Gen Zs coming out and saying that the finance bill is taking toll on us. And the government disregarded that. We've seen our members of parliament now, they have just been turned into beggars. They cannot make and exercise their constitutional mandate. We are seeing people being sent to State House. I'm told this week our people from Kajiado will go there to State House. And there is no tangible results coming out from there. You saw how our teachers were embarrassed in the State House. They stayed for until morning only to get 10,000. Those are the things that we as the united opposition want to bring sanity to our country. Let the systems work. And
the people of Kajiado will be attending?
Yeah, we have told our people they can go. They can go and take the money like the other Kenyans, but they are going knowing that in Kajiado we don't want handouts, we don't want politics of tokenism. What we want is tangible development. Okay, tangible development. So you wanted to say something?
No, I wanted to just say the issue of small parties, big parties, first of all, is neither here or there. Because for me, a house can have so many rooms inside with different people sleeping in those rooms, but it is one home. So the differences, imagine, is something perceived, but it's different on the ground. Because for me, where I sit, I cannot talk about His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's sentiments on wheelbarrow, because the definition of a small party and wheelbarrow, PLP is not a wheelbarrow or a small party, neither is Jubilee. So I cannot defend his accusation. But what I can assure the public is that for us, as the united opposition for now, which is an amalgamation of all political parties, is that our agenda is one.
Yeah.
Just to bring good governance to this country and to be able to chevron this country to levels that we lost the glory at one point that we held when Kibaki left power. So for us, the transition of these generations to come is at stake, with the debt issue, health, Haiti issue, so many things, misplaced priorities, what His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta called the test tube babies that we can bring, the experiments. There is a lot at stake. So for me, this other side shows is what now the Kasongo regime is trying to bring. Oh, there's this, and which we will not fall trap to, because our issue is there are children who are still having issues with education. Yeah. The education system is down some, the health system is down, there's a lot of corruption happening, and as we speak, hakuna pesa mfukoni. Kenyans are struggling every day, and we're a hard-working nation. You know, the saddest part is 4 a.m., 5 a.m., Mama Mboga is going from Marikiti, moving to her area of where she lives to sell her goods. We are working hard. Some you wake up every morning to come and work. But where is this money going? It is okay for you to tax us, but show us what you're doing, not moving to State House to go and dish out money that we do not know even where this money is coming from. And then you come and bring a whole health system costing billions to come and tell us now it's working, it's not working. So for me, what I tell Kenyans is eyes on the ball, especially now today we are starting the recruitment, IEBC, the voter registration, eyes on the ball. Hii vitu ingine, for me, it's just sarakasi that we do not need at the moment.
Eye on the ball.
Yes.
I want to hear you, but first let's listen to what leaders of the national opposition yesterday said. I think it's Rigathi Gachagua and Justin Muturi.
If you see any of us, akiteleza, huyo mjue ni nani? Msaliti.
William Ruto knows his goose is cooked, and he has embarked on a very serious scheme to divide the opposition. Be alert. You'll see the next several days the kind of schemes he is having.
Right. So, Wanja, I don't know if you have anything to say based on they have responded to your accusation there.
Yeah.
But then also, because at the end of the day, Kenyans treat politicians as politicians, and then there's themselves. What then sets you apart? That because Jubilee has been in power, including sponsoring the current president at some point as deputy president, I don't know if it's you or it's him who referenced that it's actually you, that the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, was in UDA Kenya Kwanza, now on this side trying to get William Ruto out. What is that will be defining, whether it's at Jubilee or the United Opposition, or however you call it, what is that will be defining and so transformative that even Fred Matiang'i didn't do for the 10 years he was a cabinet secretary?
You know, thank you so much, Sam. If nothing else, my attendance in this interview, if our viewers and all present will forget everything I've said, I wish they remember the following. We are building a national party, not a regional party. We are building a national party, not a regional party. We are building a national party, not a regional party. Kenya is a multi-party democracy. And parties in Kenya are allowed to attempt to pursue a path to power, which is through political parties. And therefore, it becomes very uncomfortable when there are reference to political parties as small parties. For as long as you have been allowed to be a political party by the ORPP, you are a political party. I might add that some of the parties that are being referred to as small have an MCA here, have an MCA in other counties. Our friends from DCP, now that Daniel is a good friend of mine, you know, they don't have a single elected candidate for now. They don't have.
They're a new party.
They're a new party. So if we are talking about small relative to how many people you have in legislation, we know who the smallest is, and that is a fact. But that said, for me, with the united opposition, that they really seem to be focusing on us and why we should be there. They even know about our chairman. But then I would ask, how come they are pushing for multi-party democracy for them to operate, but there is no semblance of democracy and divergent of views inside of the united opposition. Take a look at Bere North. I think in every election in Kenya, by-election in Kenya, there is always that one by-election that sets the tone. You remember in the last time it was Kiamba, now it's Bere North. The candidate for our friends here left because he said that he was subjected to some form of a consensus he doesn't understand, and they said that they are standing one candidate who is the musician called Karish. They were forcing, twisting other people to stand down, and you saw the DCP candidate move to another political party. What am I saying? If we are building a coalition, right now it's informal, then we also have to talk about democracy inside so that we don't nip the ambitions of individuals, political ambitions, in the name of salvaging the united opposition. Second, an opposition is built on good faith, on love, of sense of belonging. But words like, you must be here. Anybody who doesn't agree with the chorus is a traitor. You know, that kind of branding and labeling and othering, it doesn't leave a very good taste in the mouth. Naming red wheelbarrows to small wheelbarrows, I think we really have to really focus on the bigger picture.
Is this how the Jubilee Party feels?
The ill faith is to be noted, and if you really want to know that the ill faith is to be noted, it is even in the way the media is reporting. For example, issues like, you guys didn't attend. How come you did the meeting on the same day? So it is noted. You know, there are things you note to make, you know, the Gen Z say, tumekumark. They can tell kathred, it's just that the picture is not coming out nicely.
So I'm asking,
yeah,
is this the feeling of the Jubilee Party?
Yeah, we feel.
So how are you going to resolve? Do you want to be together with the united opposition? Because you started by saying those people who are referring to themselves as united opposition. Yes. So you're already introducing an aspect of otherness. Do you want to work with these political parties?
You know, I cannot deviate from the position of my party leader because he's the one who gives us the overall direction. In his own words on Friday, we are in Azimio, but knowing the political moments we are in, there was also a very big point around that we could explore other avenues in the future, make new friends, join new friends. But as at now, we're in Azimio.
So if the team united opposition calls for a meeting of, let me call them, for lack of a better word, principles, how will Fred Matiang'i attend that?
You know, I really don't know why we are oscillating between united opposition as our absence. Should we, you know, should he attend? Because Nani Dan has made it very clear that it's not a registered outfit, it's just some form of a loose network, or how he described it. I think then, you know, it seems like there's an invitation, but what we are saying, invite us nicely, don't look like there are subtle threats. Tumekumark, usipokuja, you are a traitor, so that now we can move together nicely. But whatever the case, any coalition is as stronger as individual members. So if you harass individual members...
How does nicely look?
Nicely looks like, be inviting, don't brand us, don't threaten us, don't call us our saliti, don't try to sabotage individual parties. Okay. Because some of the sentiments, and I might want to repeat, when you say that when we hold our coalition, we are taking away the Mount Kenya region, which belongs to the DCP leader first. The Mount Kenya, that was the words of the DCP, Malala. So one is that the Mount Kenya region belongs to anybody who has political ambitions, one. Two, it is trying to put Jubilee Party as a regional party that is predominant amongst the Kikuyus and the Merus, while our position is clear. We are a national party. We have a governor in Isiolo. We have an MP in Lamu. So putting us and balkanizing us in a little corner is really failing to see how powerful we are.
All right. Now, Asha and Kanchori, and I want us to transition to the next topic. There appears to be a question of trust that you have to work on. I don't know how the roadmap looks like.
You know, Sam, trust is something that is, first of all, personal, from the individual principles, you know, because people are different and we cannot design how people relate. But from where I sit, and I repeat this, and I'm sure the media has shown the several meetings the principals have had, and Jubilee has been represented all through by Torome. Our big brother Torome has been there, and Matiang'i. So for us, trusts can only be worked on, because at the top, I can look at my sister Wanja and say, I don't like this red sweater. She already has now an issue. We deviate now from the issue of getting Ruto out to she didn't like my sweater. So for me, trust is something prudent. But where I like about this, it's that all these heads and principles come from a political home.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a home with different rooms. So it is prudent upon the political parties where these principles come in to put, because people misbehave. You can wake up in the morning and one of my members decides they are going to insult DCP. I'm happy that PLP has never been accused of insulting or giving comments that affect other members in the coalition. But assuming today I stand up and say something wrong, the party must whip me and remind me the cause. So for me, trust, whether in government or in opposition, is neither here or there in terms of how to move forward. But what I know, with good, like I told you, eyes on the ball, and with the fact that these individual principles come from a political party, it is the job of the political party, it is actually our job to ensure that the principles not only conform to working for Kenyans, but respect the rule of law, so that there is inclusivity in the next formation, and we are moving with an agenda other than saying Ruto must go, because that's the first thing, you must first leave. Yeah, but either way, we are agreeing that the issue of trust, for me, has come a long way, because as we sit right now, the principals have been meeting before the two NDCs last week on Friday. They've been having meetings which is represented by all the political parties, Jubilee being one of them, PLP, DCP, DAPK, Wiper. They've been having these meetings back and forth. So for me, where we are at, we have done our part, and some, I can assure you, even what people forget is that these people come from political parties, and it is the delegates that give them the approval. So for us as PLP, we gave Martha Karua the powers to go work for the party nationally and locally and internationally, and so we will guide her on the process. And where any member deviates, like she gave a comment of a deputy party leader somewhere giving comments, if it happens on PLP, we know how to handle it, because that is not the... We need to separate the official information from the party and an individual opinion or comment.
Okay, all right. Yes. And of course, now, Commissioner Lutalala Mukhwana from the IEBC joins us. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam. How are you?
I'm all right. I, of course, do not want to subject you to conversations around the internal issues of the political parties and how they're organizing themselves.
Thank you.
But I want us to use the next few minutes so that I can hear if you have any concerns or questions with the IEBC. Of course, they restart the continuous voter registration today.
Sammy, maybe
in your county. I know you will. I know you will. I'm just setting the stage. So they'll be starting they'll be launching this exercise in Kajiado. You can say something small about what I had asked Asha earlier. And also, if you have any question to pose.
Yeah, yes, Sammy, to make it very clear that the DCP party is not a Mount Kenya party.
Yeah.
It's a national party. And the national chairman is actually a Maasai from Kajiado. The Secretary General Deputy is a Maasai from Narok. So this Ulabalu saying that DCP is a regional party from the Mount Kenya, far from it. So I want to make it very clear.
I think she was referencing what your party leader said in an interview on Inoro, obviously speaking to people who speak that language. Mount Kenya.
That's true. So DCP is a national party. It has membership from all over Kenya. We are filling candidates in the several by-elections. So I just want to make that very clear. Lastly, this opposition unite, you know that the ODM was the opposition party which has joined the government. So this united opposition is now the hope of Kenya. And that's why we are saying, and we are not apologetic about it, that Kenyans have told us that we must unite to save them. And anyone who is going to betray that unity called by Kenyan will be in the bad books of history. So we are not apologetic about that.
Okay. Any questions for Commissioner?
Commissioner, karibu sana. You know, today they are launching the voter registration in my